I'm Levi and I'm 18.
I'm Myra and I'm 17.
I'm Zell and I'm 15.
I'm Sophia and I'm 17.
What are some of the pressures you feel right now?
I definitely feel pressured kind of by my classmates and by my teachers and stuff like that, and by my parents and family, just to perform well in school.
Kind of like that, just like, what is your next steps? What are you planning to do? You need to like have all these plans in line and like know where your future is, but that's kind of like you don't really know that very often.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of pressure to kind of know what your future holds.
I would probably say for me it's more on the sports side, because like my coaches tend to think of me as a leader. So me just performing right and leading by example. And then academic-wise, I'm doing 2 sports at the same time, soccer and football, so just trying to keep my grades up so I can play those sports.
How do you cope with that pressure?
So I kind of see better eye to eye with some friends that I have more close interests with than my parents. So I kind of cope with my pressures with my friends in a way, I guess.
I think I'm like the same way. Like when I go to my parents, sometimes the advice that they give is like, no, like they just don't understand you like how your friends do.
So yeah, I would agree. My friends help a lot coping with that, especially since we have the same classes together. It just makes it easier to joke about assignments or talk about things. Another thing that helps me is hobbies. Like I enjoy dancing, I enjoy singing, and those kind of stuff. Doing that is like a good distraction, and it helps me.
What were you taught about alcohol?
I feel like I've had a lot of conversations about like substances, specifically alcohol, with my parents. They have always taught me that it's really dangerous, and I think that that basically what they've told me is that it's really dangerous and that a lot of people don't realize how dangerous it is until it's too late. So a lot of the conversations I've had with them have been them talking to me about, you know, you just need to be careful and you need to, you know, check yourself like every time that anything like that happens. And of course, wait until you're of legal age to drink. But if you ever do start drinking when you're 21 or older, just like know how many repercussions it could have potentially. And of course, like never drive while drunk and never drive while you are drunk. And yeah, just be careful with it all, because it can be very dangerous. How is alcohol talked about at your school?
I think mostly what I hear about alcohol is just like kids who party and stuff. Like, oh, this was so good, man. Have you tried this mix together? And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think that it's very like it's just expected.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be, because like obviously when we're in high school we're not of legal age, and it's just like for someone to have a party and there not be alcohol, it's surprising, which it should be the opposite, because like we shouldn't be indulging in those kind of things. And it's kind of thought of as a fad, I think, and like the cool thing, and I don't see the appeal in that.
And I think it almost becomes a thing like, at least in my experience, like with my classmates at school, they get to the point where they feel like they can't have any fun when they're hanging out together unless there is a substance there. And I think that's super, well, one, it's kind of interesting to think about, because then it's like, are my classmates really like the kind of people that just can't like hang out with each other and like make conversation and like have fun when they're together? Did they have to have alcohol? Because then all the fun's happening in your own head. Like really, you're not having like, you're not being with anyone. Like it's the substance that's doing something to you. So I just think that's really dangerous, and it freaks me out for sure.
And I think that connection is important to make when you're sober, and because if you can only make connections if you're drunk, then you're never going to be able to have a real connection.
The connections aren't with other people, they're with the alcohol, and the alcohol's happening with other people. It's not,
it's very surprising how hangouts and parties, like it doesn't matter if you're at a party now, like you can be at a hangout coming with friends and they're like bringing alcohol and it's kind of like, huh, I thought we were just hanging out, and they're like, yeah, we are, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
What made you decide not to drink? I think that I made that decision because I saw the people that I was friends with at that time make the wrong decision and saw how that affected them and how they changed. And like, I remember being in like 5th grade maybe, and everyone being so happy and not needing like anything.
Yeah.
Like just an imagination could make us all so happy. And then as we got older, I saw these people that I was friends with just kind of start to fall away, and I saw like what they were doing, not only alcohol, but like other substances. And I just saw how their emotions changed and how they were depressed and weren't really doing great in school and didn't have many friends anymore and were just not the same person as they used to be. And so that really made me step back and like make sure I was staying in my stance of not drinking or doing any substances. And I'm really glad that I stayed there because I could have been one of them and I would have really regretted that.
How has choosing not to drink impacted your friendships?
I think that I've lost some friends, but I think that that was kind of needed so that I could avoid that. Like freshman year, it was us, and it was all like sparkling water or whatever, but no alcohol or anything. And then I started to see them develop into having alcohol at those parties, and then I just kind of distanced myself and found a new group of people who weren't into that. And so I think that it just really changed who I was friends with, which is a good thing for me, I think.
I think that, like, kind of like that, I do still hang out with some of my friends that I know drink, but I've never like pretended like I have a different opinion about alcohol than I actually do. If they ever like ask me about it, if it ever comes up in conversation, I've always told them like I don't do it. I don't think you should do it. I'm not gonna like hit you over it or something like that. I'm not gonna like bully you about it, but I am gonna encourage you to stop because I don't think it's healthy. I know it's not healthy. You know, the friendships that you might lose just because you decide not to drink are maybe friendships that needed to be lost and needed to maybe not continue on. So yeah.
And I think that also you said like offering them help, not just like dropping them as a friend completely, unless like you're unsafe, of course. But they might not want to be where they are with alcohol and they need help, but they don't want to ask for it. So someone on their inside circle could potentially help them out of that. And I think it's important not just leave them in that, but kind of offer them help as much as you can within being safe yourself.